Welcome back to my channel. My name is Marissa and I like to talk about books and book design. We've just come up on daylight savings, which to me means that it is officially spring. Thank God. I'm ready for the sun and to be reading books under shady trees. Please forgive my voice. I'm getting over COVID for the second week in a row, so my voice is a little bit gone. Today I wanted to walk you through my spring TBR because I have a lot of books that I'm really excited about. I don't know exactly when the actual duration of spring is, but I'm counting it as March, April, May. And of course, I say this in every video. Yes, I am a mood reader, but these are all books that I'm in the mood to read. So this is my mood reader TBR. Coming in hot, we got A Court of Mist and Fury. If you've been around my channel for a while, you know that I started reading this last September. And it's not taking me that long because it's bad or boring by any means, but I put it down for a few different reading challenges and just never picked it back up. But I really do want to finish it, so this is my top priority this spring. You can see I'm about halfway through, a little bit less. Desperately need to finish it, but I also think any sort of fantasy, fairy realm type book is perfect for the springtime, so I'm really excited to get back into this world. The next book I have is also top of my priority because I've been meaning to read it for years, and it's a book that screams spring to me, and that would be Emma by Jane Austen. I am a huge fan of the 2020 movie adaptation of Emma. I've been meaning to read it since it came out, and I just keep putting it off, but it's one that I desperately want to read in the spring because the visuals were served in the movie are very light, pastel, flowery. I think this is my year and I really need to get into it. I'm sure we're mostly all familiar with Emma, but this Jane Austen heroine is one that plays matchmaker for all the people in her town. She's very rich and spoiled and she thinks she'll never fall in love. She never needs to get married, but there's a pretty cute and perfect friends to lovers scenario. Childhood friends to lovers scenario, and I just adore it, so I'm really excited for this one. Emma. This next book has been sitting on my shelf for years, and I literally forgot it was there till I was kind of poking around, and that would be The Lady Rogue. I believe this is a YA book. I don't know if it's fantasy. It seems like it could be, but not sure. It's about this girl, Theodora, who she and her father are treasure hunters, the kind of character who's read every single book in her library, and she knows all about these most sought after relics, and she really wants in on the adventure with her father, but he thinks it's not safe for her to come along on the journey, so she's always left behind. In this particular instance, it's her father and the former love of her life, Huck, who are seeking some treasure, and they leave Theodora behind, but Huck comes back from the expedition without her father and says that he really needs her help to find him because he has seemingly got into some trouble of some sort. And it says the item they're looking for is the magical ring that once belonged to Vlad the Impaler, which if you don't know, Vlad the Impaler is thought to have inspired Dracula. He's a real historical figure though, so I don't know if that's just random, or I'm is there any sort of vampire thing in here? That would be awesome if there was, but I think there's not. Actually, maybe, because it says, a secretive and dangerous occult society with a powerful link to Vlad Dracula himself wants it too. So maybe. And the quotes say, it's a swashbuckling adventure, a rollicking Indiana Jones flick. I'm just kind of in the mood for something like that, and I don't think I've really read anything like it. I've also never seen Indiana Jones, so that would be The Lady Rogue. The next book I really want to read this spring is The Martian. You've already heard me talk about this one quite a bit on my channel. The Martian was featured in my 5-star prediction video earlier this year, so I'm not gonna get too into it now. I'm ready to see if that 5-star prediction is gonna come true. Really looking forward to this one. So that is The Martian. This next one, I honestly don't know a whole lot about it, but it's called The Rules Do Not Apply by Ariel Levy. This is a memoir. I got this in a book exchange with my book club for Christmas, and my friend Madison was the one who brought it, and she said that she really enjoyed it so much that she read it in one sitting, and I've kind of been on a memoir kick, so I think I will definitely enjoy getting into this one. But yeah, there's not really a description on it, and I don't know who Ariel Levy is, so I can't really elaborate too much, but there's a little quote that says, I thought I had harnessed the power of my own strength and greed and love and a life that could contain it, but it has exploded. Don't know what that means. And I also love this cover. I think this is so fun. I'm such a big fan of like the pink and red color combo and this like nice font choice with the cool hand-drawn elements. I'm a big fan, so I hope I enjoy it. So I do want to do a little bit of rereading this spring, and I'm really hoping that I'll get around to rereading The Cruel Prince. If you watched my last video where I recommended some of my favorite trilogies, I mentioned The Folk of the Air is one of my favorite series of all time, but it's been a minute since I read it. I read it in 2019, I believe. So some of the details are starting to get hazy, which means it's the perfect time to do a reread. And I still haven't read the spin-off series with The Stolen Heir because I wanted to do a reread of this first. However, people have told me that you don't really need to reread it because they're not super connected, but I want to. And yeah, like I said earlier, anything like fairy feels so spring to me, so I wanna get out my picnic blanket, sit under a nice shady tree, read my little fairy book, and pretend that I am in Elfheim. And hopefully my opinion has not changed, that it's still one of my favorites. I don't think it will, but you never know. And the last book I want to read this spring is My Year of Rest and Relaxation. My boyfriend gave me this copy for my birthday in January, and we're gonna read it together. We also read Ottessa Moshfegh's other book, Eileen, together back in December because he had gotten me a copy of that for Christmas. So I think we decided that we're just gonna read all of her books together and kind of form our own opinion on what we think of her, because I feel like you either feel very strongly for or against her books, and we had never read her before, so we didn't know what to think, and we both decided that we did like Eileen. I really enjoyed it. I thought the writing was great and very engaging, but I do really like dark thrillers like that, especially when it's such a strong character study. So I'm excited to see how I feel about her throughout her other works and see if that was just like a one-hit wonder or if I'm just a fan in general. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I really don't know anything about it. Something about a girl sleeping for like a whole year or something. I don't know. Yeah, that is my year of rest and relaxation. So those are all the books I'm hoping to get to this spring. Nothing too crazy. I don't want to overwhelm myself by any means, especially keeping in mind that I will be reading at least one book a month for my book club. You know, as a mood reader, this is subject to change at any moment in time. I would love to know what you're looking forward to reading this spring, and if you've read any of the books that are on my TBR, please let me know what you thought in the comments below, and happy reading. I'll see you in the next one.